Hello guys, Mr. Diablo Gaming here, and I had my commentary normal, but then I went back and looked at it, and I said a bunch of words wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna play on from a certain point, so you might not understand what the fuck I'm talking about, but just please enjoy. You will understand later on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the story, Joseph Seed, the deputies, the marshal, your character, the recruit, and the marshal. And you all go on to Joseph C's Island. There we go. That's just a recap of what I would have had in, but I had to cut out. But here's the rest of the commentary, which should be okay. We've been in the middle of, connecting to the islands, I think, by bridge, in between the lake, which is also known as Joseph's Island. Yes, you all land there in a helicopter, go and try and arrest Joseph Seed, which is the bad guy. Pretty obvious by the trailers and the reveal trailers and all that shit. Should be pretty obvious. Yes, and he's obviously the bad guy, and he's fucking loopy, mate. I will tell you this straight on, he is fucking loopy. But yeah, you all go and try and arrest him. It's a pretty bad idea, as you all have handguns, and everyone else who's fucking part of the cult of Project at Eden's Gate. Some name, same as the real life cult, Heaven's Gate cult, which all killed himself. And then you have that cult that Ubisoft is based on a map, not Harvard based, one of their maps in Rainbow Six Siege. That cult, which is the actual real basis of this cult. But yeah, and then you get into the bad guys, which is Faith Seed. I'm gonna go from youngest to oldest. Which I think is oldest or youngest to oldest, which is Faith Seed, John Seed, Joseph Seed, and Jacob Seed. Now, John, Joseph, Jacob, all J. I'm surprised they didn't call Faith Jane, because that would just be stupid as fuck. I'm actually happy they called her Faith and not anything with a J, like Jessica or something like that there, because that would just been bad. But then John, I'm gonna say the next character, John, he is the worst out of the four. Joseph is a very close second, and then Jacob, and then Faith. Faith is the only one I actually understand her story, because she actually had, to be honest with you, the best story in my eyes. And then you have Jacob, who's second best. He goes on about how he doesn't give a fuck about God, and that he only gives a shit about Joseph or something like that. But he does have sort of a belief in God, because he talks about his tests, which I'm not going to spoil, because I want you to actually get the game and figure it out yourself. But yeah, enough of the story. I don't want to spoil too much. All this shit show goes up. You get captured. Well, you don't get captured. You don't get captured. Your friends get captured, and you have to save them. Basically, every Far Cry game ever. But yeah, I want to go on to the next subject, which is the guns. I don't think there's enough. Plain and simple. They just renamed one of the guns in the game and stuck it in the snipers, which was the ARC. Because if you stick on an enhanced ranger scope in it, and then select the fire to one bullet at a time, so semi-auto, not semi-auto, single shot, just gonna say that, simplify it, single shot, it basically turns into the ARC sniper variant. And the only difference is one maybe can shoot a bit further than the other. There isn't a very big difference. And then you have recurve and combat bow. Never used the recurve bow once. You know why? Because it's a fucking game, and I don't give a shit about performance. I give a shit about killing. Like, that's a different story when it comes to guns, obviously. Like, I would prefer to use SMG over a pistol any day, unless you're playing Fortnite and you're close range. And the other person has a pistol, and then you go with pistol down. Yeah, the game's guns, I don't think there's enough. I was actually happy that they released the MP40, but I'm actually sad that they got rid of like the MG42 and the other World War One guns. They did keep the M1, well, a variant of the M1 Grand, just gonna say the M1, but yeah, it's obviously it's not the M1 because, well, it's a mag. It has a magazine. It isn't top loaded and it just go every time you reload it. But yeah, that's it. And they just made different variants. They even decided to release a sniper that was in the previous games and just decided, fuck it, people want new weapons. We're just gonna take a scope of this and say it's a new weapon. Should have just took the scope off all the snipers and did get the best scope. Would have been better. And then you have the Vector. To be honest with you, because they added that in this week, people did get it with an earlier patch, but then they released the patch to get rid of that patch. So you would have to get rid of your Vector, which was stupid for some people. But then they released the Vector as a free live event weapon that you could get if you played 40 minutes of arcade in the Arcade Dawn live event, which was actually pretty good of them. And they are giving away free weapons and outfits every week, I think, or they might change it up and do like say you can get this glove this week and then you get a hat this week and then you get a full outfit and such, or you say, oh, we're going to give out silver bars, which is the cryptocurrency in this game, which is actually quite useless unless you want every gun. Like, I do understand what they were talking about in one of their posts where they were talking about you could basically buy the game, but you can't really buy the game because all it's doing is giving you weapons and outfits. And yeah, that's all the cryptocurrency. But the guns, prestige variants and stupid variants, and I don't give a crap about the variants. I want the base gun, I want new weapons, I want more, and I can't wait till the DLCs, which is Vietnam, Lost in Mars, and Dead Living Zombies, which all might have new guns via their, what do you call it, little gameplay they showed off. The only one where I actually saw new guns was actually Lost in Mars, because in the Vietnam one they used same guns as in the campaign, which is actually kinda cool. But also shit, as I would love to use an M16 or say what do you call it, a Tommy gun or any other gun during Vietnam, which would make it perfect for map editing. But the only one I actually believe that is going to have new weapons is Lost on Mars, as it obviously shows a ray gun, which I'm going to use to make a zombies map. You can't stop it, you just can't. But yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Guns, give the guns rating of out of 10, I would give them a 7, but I need more. Alright, next thing I'm going to talk about is the NPCs. And going on NPCs, I'm not going to talk about the Heralds, which is the siblings, the Seed family. I'm not going to talk about them anymore. I'm going to talk about characters that you would see in the game that will be like your friends. Not the guns for her. I'm going to do a separate talk about them after. The NPCs like Jerome, Pastor Jerome. That's it. You heard it. The only memorable character I know, actually, there is Eli, and then there's your compadres, the marshal, sheriff, and 2 deputies. I can't remember all of their names. I know there's Huttons and Whitehorse. I don't remember the U.S. Marshals or the other deputy. And then you have I can't remember anyone else, to be honest with you. Anyone else from the campaign, I can remember them 4 and Jerome, Pastor Jerome. Oh, and you can't forget about Larry, the spacesuit man. Not spacesuit man. The space marine, a bit fucked up in the head. Would shave his hair and put tinfoil instead. That kind of guy. You can't forget about Larry. It's Larry. Oh, and you can't forget about Herc Sr. He's the papa of Herc Jr. Yeah, if you don't know who Herc is, that was just a bit weird what I just did. Exactly, it was just weird. Because Herc Sr. is basically the Texas version of, well, the Montana version of Trump. The poor version. Hillbilly fucking cousin sister. You know? That kind of Donald Trump. Well, Americans would say Donald Trump is that, but we all say he's not really that. Then you have, yeah, that's all the NPCs. They're all soulless motherfuckers, except for the ones I named, like Eagle Eye, Hudson, Whitehorse, and your character doesn't even talk, and he's got more fucking soul than the rest. Then you have Herc Senior, and then Larry, obviously, the nut job. Yeah. Then you have the guns for hire, which there's 3 good ones, 3 bad ones, and 2 neutral ones. Which the neutral ones can be good or bad. The good ones would be Jess Black, Nick Ray, and Abigail Durbin, which is the mum of Herc Jr. She has Tulip, which is her helicopter, which has been modified to hold rockets and two mounted miniguns. Yes, 2 mounted miniguns. And then there's Nick Ray, who has a crop plane, I think it is. And yeah, he just mounted 2 he mounted bombs to the wings, and he mounted 2 miniguns, or a minigun, on the bottom of his plane. So he's basically a strafing fire. And basically Tulip, the helicopter, is obviously Abigail's helicopter, which was like a kill streak. Then you have Jess Black. She is my favourite character to use in any situation. But some situations, like if you can't use her in obviously the ending cutscenes for each of the seeds, but in the ones where she is useful, she's amazing. Like hunting animals, she can give you a lot of dough. She's sometimes funny and sometimes soulless. That's the only downfall, is she's not funny enough. Only downfall, but amazing to have. And then you have your neutrals, which is Cheeseburger and Peaches. Oh, and there's also Herc. So there's Herc himself, Herc Jr. Yes, they are the neutral. I'm not going to get into any of them. All I'm going to say is Cheeseburger is good for hugging, Peaches is good for stealth, Herc is good for blowing shit up. Then you're going to get into the bad ones, which I'm not going to say anything about. I'm just going to say they're bad. And the bad ones are Boomer. I know everyone wanted Boomer to be the best, but for me, I hate Boomer. And there's Boomer. Then there's Grace Armstrong. A big letdown for me, obviously. You could have different experience with her, which could butter in your top 3, top 5. And then there is Sharky Bones. Fucking Sharky Bones. Yes, Sharky Bones is a complete fuck up. He came out head first and landed on his head, as he's known as a flamer. Only uses his fucking shotgun. You heard it. Only uses his shotgun, but he's a flamer. I know, it's weird, but yeah, he's just bad. That's it. Basically, that's all you need to know. Don't use them free, unless you want to give them a go, and you might actually get them to use good use out of them than I did. But yeah, I wouldn't use them. I know. Let's talk a bit more about the arcade, which I am actually going to talk about here for about 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about ratings of the game that I would give. Yeah, I would give this game, obviously, about an 8.5. As this game, there is a lot of stupidness and fried dumb stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. But then there is stuff that will get in your head, like Say Yes. You know that game Bioshock? And maybe you haven't heard it. It's like, it's not really popular. Or, well, it's fucking Bioshock, mate. Get your facts right. Yeah, Bioshock is actually a very popular game. As long as it's not, it's a good game. Played one of them. Can't remember which one. The one with the floating islands. Can't remember anything about Bioshock. But Bioshock is obviously a famous good game, and I would recommend it to anyone, even though I haven't played it. Just looking at it looks amazing. Yeah, there's a character in it, which is a spoiler, but I haven't played the game, so I'm spoiling it for myself by telling you. But there is a character who is actually referenced in Far Cry 3 by Jason Brody, which is his word. He goes, "Would you kindly?" Wait, at the his, "Would you kindly?" Which that was my best impression of the character. He's got an Irish tone, so he does. But yeah, he manipulates your main character Brooker into doing what he wants, which is actually similar to this game in two aspects. Jacob, he uses a song which he has planted in your main character's head, and it triggers like a seizure. It makes him go, it turns into a fucking apeshit, and as the saying says, kill the herd, which is basically saying kill the herd. Yeah, and then you have John's, which is the character I didn't really like, but his wee sequence was actually okay, which it was just say yes. He will torture you. He'll give you one of your 7 sins. Well, not 7. He'll give you make you atone, but he'll torture you until you say yes to anything. That's how that's how he got Hope County, by saying yes, making everyone say yes. And then that's the wee tweaks you would get in this game. There was when you like the loading screen there, all you hear was like a whisper of a yes, which would fucking scare the fuck out of you if you're playing headphones. To be honest, it scared the fuck out of me too. And then you have the character saying it. Yes, fucking Larry says yes. He tells you to say yes. I think there was a bad rating right there. But yeah, the game is a recommendation by me, Mr. Diablo, Satan of the Gamer. And yeah, now let's talk about the arcade. In a second I'm going to have to pause my audio here, so there might be a wee blip. That's because there's saved audio that I do not want on it. Whatever. Yeah, arcade is a fun thing. If you're into that, like base building, like people who make GTA, like parkour maps, racing maps, deathmatch maps and all that there, and people who played previous Far Cry games and really liked the Far Cry map editor, I would recommend you playing Arcade Editor, which is basically map editor, but there's different in it. There's different stuff in it. Like if you play Far Cry 4, you will recognize the shit in it. To be honest with you, Far Cry 4 stuff is in Far Cry 5's map editor. Far Cry 5 stuff is in Far Cry 5 map editors. But then Far Cry Primal stuff, the IPs Far Cry Primal, Black Flag, Unity, and Watch Dogs are also in the editor. So if you want to make a skyscraping city map, click Watch Dogs and use Watch Dogs map assets to your heart consents. Then if you want a old timey primal dinosaur, like wilderness only, use a branch to kill someone, use a hoe to kill someone, go right ahead and do it. Yeah guys, there was a wee blip in the audio there, which I cannot fix due to restrictions in the SHAREfactory, but it'll be alright. You'll be okay. You won't die. But yeah, like I was saying, you could use a hoe to kill people and all, and make a melee only map. You can also make multiplayer maps like you could in Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 3, which is actually been remastered in the classic, which I cannot wait. I really can't. I'm so excited for Far Cry 3 Classic Edition on PS4. Yeah, that wasn't actually sarcasm. That was me trying to be funny. That was funny. No, it wasn't. But yeah, I actually can't wait for Far Cry 3 Classic and the DLC, which I did talk about there, Dead Living Zombies, Lost to Mars, and fucking Vietnam. Do not know. Oh wait, Hours of Darkness. Yeah, I think that's it. Which is the DLC, and it looks amazing. Don't know when it's coming out. Fucking disappointed right there that I don't know when DLC that I bought's coming out. I know they won't be coming out soon. They'll probably be coming out in a month, but can't wait. And I hope they bring new weapons. But yeah, Far Cry editor is amazing, and even just playing arcade mode, it's good for your campaign. So if you're bored and you can't get like skill points, because at a certain point I wasn't able to get skill points because I was trying to do a bunch of side quests which wouldn't finish for me, which were actually hard. I went on to the editor, played a bunch of team deathmatch. I didn't do wee shitty XP boosts in the campaign arcade, but yeah, I just stuck. There's the Vector SCP, which is amazing. But yeah, I wouldn't do that. You would just play multiplayer, or you would play a good enough featured map or a top rated map. Don't play Arcade Hero unless it's the multiplayer one, which in that case, go for it. I applaud you if you do, if you can get a fucking game. But yeah, the arcade's amazing. And guys, my next video is gonna be on, obviously, a review of the arcade, so stay tuned later for that. Well, in a day, tomorrow, maybe sometime. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna let you go on here and have a nice day. This has been Mr. Diablo again. Please like and subscribe for more soon.